Hi, friends. This is Joe Chadburn, the Ambassador Network Director here at World Missionary Press. We're back with Yuri Ilnitski, part 8 of this wonderful series. Welcome, Yuri.
Thank you very much. Hello, everybody.
Today, we're going to talk about the smaller events, community events, more closed-in events, places where you're also using tables and setting up displays and things like that. So tell us a little bit about that and your experience with that.
Okay, we were sharing, we will share with you about events where you can set up your table, when you can represent church or represent organization and share the gospel inside an event. Before all the series, if you're interested, you can watch back. We will have a link on the bottom or the site where you can watch other series, how you can use on events, public events, and other places. And we will also in the future, we will also share with you how you can use in the cars, in restaurants, hotels, beaches, prison, schools, church. We will share this later on, but today we're thinking that very important to you to equip with some tools how you can set up a booth inside the festival and participate inside the festival. So that way you will be legally, officially representing, and you have your team inside the festival, because some festivals, they not allowing because this is their territory, they're not allowing you to standing and giving book because you're staying on their territory. And once they say you cannot, there is another way where you can legally continue to preach the gospel and how to do it to be inside the festival with legal permission and participation. But we will tell you this later on. Now we're gonna share with you a few other places, how you just mentioned, festivals, parades, where you can continue using this literature free, without any, and legal, without any troubles, okay? The first one, as we mentioned before, you can use on parades. Parades is something very, very people likes. Back in ex-Union Soviet, where I came from, ex-Union Soviet, from country Ukraine, we have a May 9 Independence Parade, where ex-Union Soviet, Russia, Ukraine, and other countries, even today, they're still using to prove, to show the power, military power, with a lot of people. Thankfully, in the United States, we don't need to show our power. Yeah. We know that we are powerful. But on those parades, what we have here in the United States, they are peaceful parades where they share exhibition of cars or fall festival parades, or like you mentioned, Patrick Parade. If you live in Brazil, there is huge parades. Also,
and all kind of different parades they have everywhere. Sure.
You can also remember, every person who don't know Christ is missionary field. And you, the one who can share the gospel with them. There is many ways to do it, not only through church pulpit. You also can share the gospel where it's needed most. It's streets. They need Jesus. They need to know God. And we will also share with you where that there is one ministry that they are serving and supporting those missionaries who willing to go on the street, who have a desire to share gospel. They supporting with very special literature, booklets, printed, Bible-based. There is no many interpretation. This is what I love it the most. Because I was searching many booklets and I saw from all of them there is person explaining gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And as an evangelist, I understand that people, once they're Christian or they know about Christianity a little bit, they may read this. But since they are not Christian, they will be picky to read somebody's mind.
Mm.
So they need to have some authority literature supporting documented, which is Bible, and it's very authority book, which is trustful. It's recognizable all over the world, and everyone, it doesn't matter religion, they know that there is Bible. Mm-hmm. They know that this is very genuine source, and those booklets they printed based on the Bible only. So this is very important for you guys. So what we do in parades and festivals like this, usually it's also very important. As we mentioned previous videos, all people gathering before parade starts, they go and sit, or you can explain better.
They'll sit down and get ready for the parade, because there's so many parades have a lot of noise and marching bands and things like that, a lot of fanfare, so you're not going to really be able to communicate. And people want to watch the parade. They have family in the parade a lot of times, or a high school band, or they want to watch the parade, not you. Or at least me, they don't want to watch.
Those people coming earlier time,
they'll line up hours beforehand to get a good seat. Yes.
Yeah. And for us, for me personally, it's my opinion, it's my experience. We know that better moment for them to share the gospel, and they read it or they pay attention what they receive. It's booklets when they given before parade starts. For at the end of the parades, people start rushing, people start go, and they thinking where is their car, where is their belongings, kids. So they not focused to get anything on their hands. They focus. They have a different focus. So it's very important. Don't use phrase, okay, I'm gonna do it after parade. You can do it, but it's not that effective. Most effective when you do it before. And this is how we done on most parades. We do this way. If I have enough people to cover the area, entrance areas, streets, or anything like this, then we stay on the entrance streets where people start getting from. If it's limited, this strategy, I use it many times, and it's worked and really, really effective. Before we know what time start parade, let's say 10 o'clock in the morning. So 10 minutes up before 10, when it's everybody line up, because those people, they already start preparing to get ready. And I know that we don't have people surrounding where we can serve. Let's say we are 6 or 8 persons. Unbelievable evangelism, we are 200, 300 people. Most likely we are small groups, and we small groups. So what we do, and we use very strong helpers. It's kids. You can use your kids too if you have, or teenagers. They love it. May
I ask a question? When you go with groups, do you stay 2 by 2 or make sure that you're in close proximity?
The best way is go 2 by 2. It's nothing new. It's Jesus' model. He sent it by 2. Why? First thing, For me, I can go one, but for new beginners, I recommend go by two. First of all, emotionally and psychologically, you feeling that you're not alone. Secondary, if you have somebody approach to you and you handling books and it's emergency questions, person, let's say death or life, we have this kind of situation. People want to quit the life and they approach to my daughter one occasion, and my daughter listened and called my wife because it was female. So my wife talking, then she called me, and I was very close distance.
Sure.
I engaged the conversation. So on that situation, I'm not able to share any more gospel, but I can talk to that person what's really matter. Or, for example, if somebody start asking about Jesus Christ, if you want and you don't have nobody there, you have to stop everything. But if you are two, one can start talking, other continue. So
being able to talk, that's sharing the gospel in a really powerful way, and ministering and praying to someone, with someone. That's phenomenal. And also the second person that's there, even if they didn't know what to say, they can be praying for you as you're ministering. So yeah, they're very, very powerful and important. I just wanted to kind of bring that out there.
Also, if there is available, I suggest also, based on my experience, I suggest always also use female male, like wife with husband. Why? Because you never know who approach. It can approach girl or female. I can talk, but here in the United States, you need to be more aware who you're talking, and so to not bring any temptation or any conflict dramas. So to avoid that, I have my wife. If this any female or girl come over, I give my wife, and they also have a same mindset. So they talk in the same language. So,
and there are certain situations too with domestic abuse where women may have encountered just brutal men in their life, and they're actually afraid of men. And it's really only a woman that's going to be able to touch them.
They can open up,
pretty much, absolutely. And that's just one scenario. So yes, I believe that's wisdom, absolutely.
So once is, we know that what time is starting event. What we do, we start from starting point. We go toward the line, whereas people have a line. We go on both sides, we go and give the booklets. Those people, they psychologically, they're thinking that we representing festival authority. And I can say almost 100% they taking those books because they thinking maybe it's some plan, who is gonna go. You know, what's the name? Program they call it?
Yeah, some sort of a program, sure.
They thinking that some of them, they asking us, oh, is this program or you patronage or something like this. So those people taking, or many of them, since most festival like parades, they giving something valuable, candies or anything. They thinking something free coupons, something free, and they take it. And it's big opportunity for us because I go and this can be 2-3 rows people, and they see that I come in, they just sneaking in, just give it to me one for me, or maybe two. So
I see where the small children's coloring books we're doing would be very good for that. We pass a lot of those out at the fair, but you ask people, can I give your children a coloring book? And the kids always, want a coloring book. So that's,
we use coloring book mostly in parks, because they are bigger size now, thanks to World Missionary Press, where we get supported from, and you can get supported also. They print in 248 languages. Booklets, coloring books, and they can ship you free of charge.
We have 348 different languages, but you may not know. we have, because we're printing them in-house, the coloring books are smaller, but we can get more of them out now because we're printing them in-house. But they're the same size as like the Bible studies, like the Gospel of John.
Yeah, this is what I just want to mention. Yeah,
yeah. So you can hand those out a lot easier and carry them instead of these, huge books at parades or whatever. So that is that's an upside to it.
Correct. On this year's, yes, World Missionary Press, they start releasing. This is what I want to mention. They start releasing coloring books, smaller size, where you can take to the festivals and give to kids. And this is what really they like it. Mm-hmm. And believe they start reading immediately. Mm-hmm. This is what I like seeing kids. They start reading, candy starts spreading, and they continue reading.
Yes.
I love to observe them.
Yeah.
And so this is how we give, and you can do the same way. You can pre-order from World Missionary Press. The website is wmpress.org.
Yes.
And you select where you want it. They also have an electronic way. If you want to share social medias, you can do it. They have via text. And they also have audio booklets where you can, if you want to serve to somebody blind, disability, or elders, they also think about those people too. They're not left behind them. Or truck drivers or anybody who not able to sit down and read. So for them, they also prepare that, and they have on that website. You can copy link and share with them too.
There's on that note too, and I found this from different events that I've done, and just interaction with people, that if you do send them a link or you ever exchange information by text, that means that person trusts you with their phone number, okay? And you can always ask permission after you've read it. I might give you a text and see how you're doing, or if you have any questions, you have my number, you can text me, and I may just follow up with you, see how you're doing. I'm gonna be praying with you. And you have each other's information. Something else that I'll do a lot of times is I'll just give them my phone, and I'll say, if you like, you're on Facebook, would you like to be friends? Here, send yourself a friend request on my phone. And so they'll type their name in a lot of times, because I don't, with pronunciation or whatever. And if it's a younger person, they're a lot quicker. But then all of a sudden, you're Facebook friends, or whatever. We're able to connect in so many ways right now, that you can have that contact, even in a short engagement. Something wonderful can develop out of that, and you can continue ministering to that person, whether it's through social media or whether it's through, texting, calls. However, you don't want to really intrude and impose on people, but if you let them know, hey, and you set up some boundaries and just let them know that you'd love to be in contact with them. I think that's very meaningful, as far as the follow-up aspect of it, that you don't get with the paper, which is great. But something else that we had mentioned, tell us about the stamp that you use, so that people can get. Talk about that stamp.
This is a great point that you touched that. Usually, when we go to different events, we like to, like you just mentioned, discipleship. It's same as important as sharing the gospel. Mm-hmm. Because once person receive Jesus Christ, they just born, and just born baby, they need care.
Or they may not have received him, and they have questions. What is this book? What does this mean? What's this talking about? I need help. Yeah.
And those people, I have many requests personally, who I give the booklet, and they say, where is your church located? I want to be in your church. I want to know more about God. If you have a time, or if they have, you once you do this, you are disposed to have a time. But if they not have a time, there is one way to serve those people. What we design, I don't have it right now with me, but we take, I have a booklet. There you go. For example, this is a booklet on the back, there is empty space. And the World Missionary Press specially designed this way. So you have an empty space where you can make a stamp for your church and stamp it. So once you give the booklet, there is on the back, as soon as they want to know where to go, how to go, if they want to have more questions or anything like this, they can have a contact information where they can reach and start growing up better. This is another opportunity. Or if you do same thing, we apply this when we go missionaries. When we send missionaries, our church sending missionaries in Mexico, where they take other missionaries will go Africa and actually in Soviet India, but in Mexico, when they go, they do same thing. They invite people to crusade, and guess what? They print the church name or crusade direction. This is more effective because if you print invitation, it's just piece of paper. Person gonna look, oh, it's on Sunday. Oh, I cannot go on Sunday. They throw away. But this, it's Bible-based booklet. It's have Bible verses. I can show it. If they not assist crusade, they still have God's word in their hands. And we don't know which kind of situation will happen in people's lives, which circumstances will happen, or which condition they will pass. And once they need it, they will look it, and they're going to read it. And this is very, very efficient because this is not one-time use. And for those, another tip, those who receive, I have sometime when we give on festivals, parades, I give booklet, and some Christians, I don't know, maybe it's our society like this, brother, but some Christians, they say, oh, I'm Christian, I don't need it. I catch myself a few times this way. And I say, give to somebody who don't know. Oh, give me 5 or 6. Sometimes people thinking that this book is designed only for you. But if you already know God, and you can mention that once you distribute when you're sharing the gospel, you can say, hey, if you are already Christian, give to somebody else. This is what I use, the phrase. Oh, and they open their minds. Give me more. Because they see, they forget that these booklets, it's not only for Christians, it's non-Christians, but also for those who follow the Jesus Christ, and for Christians, because Christians also need answers when they need it. And sometimes if they are Christians that read Bible once a year or once a month, they may need a reminder.
Be some good encouragement. Yeah. So I want to ask you, and like when you're at this Chinese Lantern Festival there, that's I believe in Duluth, and we've got some pictures of that on the ambassador website on the blogs. You're setting up a table. Are there any tips that you have for when you're at the table and people because people are just walking by a lot of times and they're looking real quickly at things, and so talk a little bit about the dynamic of that when you're at a festival like that. You have a table or a booth set up, and let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay, yeah. How we promise later on, we promise you that we're gonna tell you about the Lighting Festival Chinese. It was happening for 30 days.
30 days?
For 30 days, correct.
Wow.
Yes. Chinese, they like long.
Wow.
So I was for 30 days and they exhibit, and but the most in it was in December, January, so it was very cold. For us, going from 5, 6 o'clock evening to 11 o'clock night, first of all, it's cold. It's freezing and it's dark. People not really like to take from somebody's hands during evening time something. They don't know what you're offering. So for that reason, I saw opportunity. I say, okay, first of all, it will be called for us, and secondary, people safety. So we need to be inside to continue share the gospel. And one of my friends from our church, they know the director who organized that. She was Christian, Chinese. She is real estate businesswoman. And she was doing on her own money. And the way how she have opened it, so she put Chinese lights, and also she put exhibition of Jesus Christ born, and they put music of the Christian music. So this is the way how she have an idea to preach the gospel.
Now, so this is indoors with a table and a lit setting.
Yeah, they enclose the festival, so you have to buy ticket to get in. But the way how she this is business, but it was that festival, and they have a booth, and we approached to her, and this is how it's work. To be inside, you have to first ask permission of the organizer. So you need to come over and ask their permission. They glad to, because the more booths they have, the more popular this. They like, they call vendors. They like to have vendors in their booths. Sometimes it's cost involved. Sometimes it can be free. You need to ask. To do this, first you need to ask. Second, what most places like this, they ask insurance for your booth. You can buy it at your own pocket. It's not cheap because you need to have a very expensive coverage. But if you live in the United States and you belong to some church, our churches have a business insurance. So what I did, I asked my pastor in our church to give me extension of this business insurance for 1 month, for my territory, in case if there is accident happen in my booth. They don't want to be liable. They have their own insurance, but they say we cover our territory, but in case if somebody entered in your booth and something happened, you are liable. So to avoid expenses, you can ask your church to provide you insurance policy, a church insurance policy, which is $10 million coverage, and the vendors like this because all the questions just run away. They see the paper, you have paper, it's good to go. They assign you a table, and if this is what we do, I was thinking many different name, because the name what's matter. But it's something that not you going toward people, it's where all people coming to you. So in that case, you need to put some name, something that's gonna bring people to you. Yes. So we name it prayer. So prayer is something. If you put Christian or Jesus or anything, remember it's only will Christians come over to you, and it's ineffective because the purpose of evangelism is to give good news to people who don't follow Jesus or have the loose relationship with God. So our decision, prayer, every religion, they use prayer.
Yes, yes.
So we get to the conclusion, we're going to we pray for you. So that approach many people. And the another thing, what Americans love it, we put big sign, free.
Free prayer, yeah.
No, we not put prayer. We put just sign, free.
Just free. Okay.
It's, you need to see how people, once they walk in a vendor's area and they see something free, it doesn't matter what you give free. But they're running. They like this one. I don't know.
So it's a separate sign that says free right near your prayer booth is what it is. Yeah.
No, the prayer booth we put on the top and the bottom we put table, we put booklets, and we put free.
Exactly. I just wanted to clarify that for anyone who was.
Yeah, that's good that you asked because booklets what we give even in the vendor place we give free of charge. Okay. It's very important because if you, first of all, the booklet stated it's free, even free, okay? And secondary, people like more, they approach more responsibly and they're willing to read this when there is no cost involved or they not have nothing to lose, okay? So this is where they bring attention and they approach and they say, oh, what is it? Oh, booklets. Oh, it's about, yeah, okay. So we set up a few tables and we put those tables and I put, 20 or 30 languages, the most common Arabic, Chinese, traditional, Taiwanese, Vietnamese, and all kind of languages. So, and
you're in Gwinnett County where there's all different nationalities. It's wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, and since they name it Chinese Lighting Festival, most Asians, they come over there and they be enabled, usually by their culture. I spoke with few of them. They not teach to get something from somebody's hands. This is the cultural thing. But on that festival, during those 30 days, we've been able to give like 5,000-6,000 booklets. Different languages. And
Wonderful.
Thanks to World Missionary President, they supply all kind of languages for us. And we have also coloring books for kids. Kids also, they want it. Oh, can I take for my sister too? I have my brother in the home. So the kids also like it. And since kids, what I see, kids when they walk, looks like they not have it 2 eyes. Looks like they have 24 eyes. So they walk. Even we saw person passing through the booth, and kid, mom, there is something for me. It's free. And they turning, and the kid grab the book, and mom or dad start looking what we have, and they grab one book, how to know God, or help from a mom, and praise the Lord. So this is very, very important. If you have something for kids, it's magnet. they steering parents to get because they like to have their stuff. Yes. Second thing, what also we did on that festival, we get approval, and you can do it the same thing. Not only booth assistant, where you stay in the booth, because I saw since it was cold, they come to see the lights and they not much go inside. Like it was surrounding area, and in that surrounding area there was like food court. It's different, like cup, and they not walking much inside. And my purpose, since we there, I saw that will be best and more effective because I'm losing maybe 80% of people who is walking inside the exhibition. So I approached to the owner and I asked if we can handle the books inside their territory, explaining. Always need to ask. Remember, this is very important too. Always ask. And I asked her, and she said, yes, sure, I'd be glad. Only you need to print your tag with your name and that you represent, that you are vendor, what she is giving us anyway. So what I just put the tag over, so people, even with more responsibility, they was thinking that I am employee of the event. And once I approached to them, I give them book, and they say, oh, thank you very much. Thank you. So it was very successful. People start thanking those booklets.
Excellent.
And reading. So those tips you can also, there is events which exhibition or circus or whatever. If you want to be inside, there is possibility, but there is some rules need to be applied. But on our case, that since was nighttime, winter 6 o'clock was already dark. So for safety issue and for not freezing outside, you can apply that too. To avoid that situation, as you can watch later before videos, we share with you how you can do it in legal ways. Just click it, order series 5, 6, 7. You can watch how to do it, evangelize on places where it's public places and which rules you can use it.
Yes, and you can find all of these on our newsletter. It links you straight to YouTube, but you can find all of these videos. They're at wmpambassadors.org, and just go to the presentation videos, and you'll be able to watch this entire series there. So that's great. I've enjoyed this so much, Yuri, and look forward to either one day later this week or next week in the very near future, getting together again and going over these. Thank the Lord for this time together. Do you have anything to share with our viewers and listeners before we close?
Yeah. If you know anyone who want to be evangelist, or if you are evangelist, share this video with your friends using social media, YouTube, other places. So those tools will be available. And also, I encourage you to visit the website, wmpress.org. Look it over, what tools you can use it. If you have any comments or suggestions or questions, you also can question on the bottom. If this video will be on the social media, you can comment on social media or YouTube. What else? And remember, everything, the ministry start not when you entitle minister. Ministry start when you start ministry. When you start serve.
Praise the Lord.
And if you don't know much to say, get those booklets. This will be very easy step for you. Just give and say, this is for you.
Yes.
Even kids
all ministers. Yes.
So this is my message to you, and may God bless you, protect you wherever you are, whatever country you are. And may God use your wisdom, your thoughts, what you're gonna pronounce to those people, so you're speaking directly to their hearts if you have opportunity. So may God bless you, be with you, and we share everything what we can with you. Be blessed.
Amen. Thanks again, Yuri, and to all of our viewers and listeners. We love you so much. Have a wonderful week. God bless you.
God bless.